In this video, I'm going to show you how to copy monitor the architect's plumbing fixtures. We're going to look at this room here. So we're in a plumbing level, and as you can see, when we click on any of the items, it's part of the architecturals. So we're going to copy monitor them, but with a difference. We're going to copy monitor them, but we're not going to use the same fittings as what is already the architect's got. We're going to choose different ones, but we're not going to do it individually. We're going to do it as a group. But before we do that, what we need to make sure is that because we might have certain selections of equipment that we want to use, we'll need to load in all of our fixtures that we've got in our library. Now, if this was your master template, then quite possibly all of these fixtures will be in there, but not necessarily all. So I'll show you how to do that first. It's just a case of going to Insert and Load Family. Now, what normally pops up is this Load Family, and it will say Australia, and then you'll get your list of different disciplines here. Obviously, we want to go to plumbing, and we want the MEP side of things and fixtures. So, as you can see from here, we've got a shower, a bathtub, a water closet, lavatory, sinks. So we need to load these on one at a time. So start at the bottom here, water closets, and I'm just going to select all of them and click on open. If we get this message pop up, it means that we've already got that particular family in our list down in the project browser. So we just click on overwrite existing version and its parameters. You may be loading in a new one that you've updated since, so you'll want the newer version. So always go for this overwrite existing version with parameter values. Your families are listed down here right at the bottom in the project browser. Plumbing fixtures. And then we'll continue to load in families. There's no urinal, so we don't need to bother about those. Sinks, yes. Open those up. Again, click with parameter values. Showers. Lavatories. Or the name that we call them here, basins. Bathtubs. Right, that should be all that we need to load in to copy monitor these. But as I say, we're going to do it slightly differently from doing them individually. We're going to do it as a group based. So first we need to go up to Collaborate. Now that we've loaded in our families, we go up to Collaborate, and we're going to go to here, Coordination Settings. This is before we do the copy monitor. So Coordination Settings, it brings us up this project settings. What we want to apply the settings to is we click on this box, and if you remember our linked file, when we inserted our linked file, if we go to view what that was, we go to Manage and click on Manage Links, and we can see that our Revit linked file is this Hotel for Project in Revit. So in the collaborate, when we click on coordination settings, we want to apply the settings to the hotel for project in Revit. Then we're working on plumbing, so we want to click on this, highlight plumbing fixtures, and then the mapping behavior, we want to change this over to specified type mapping. Now as we do that, you'll notice that we've now got a pop-up of type mapping underneath the plumbing. If we click on here, and this gives us the items that are in the linked model and what we want to appear in our model. So the left hand side is the architect's items, and on the right hand side in the host is our items. So for this example, we're going to go through and we're going to choose a few different items here. So on the shower, we're going to change this, go down till we find shower, and we want a corner, shower, stall, corner, 865 by 815 private. We're going to click that one. And then we're going to go down the list. And for the sink, we want to change this one to a sink service, 560 by 485. Under this size sink, again we're going to choose a sink service, but we're going to choose the 760 by 610. Under the sink vanity round, we want lavatory. We're going to change this to a vanity, 760 by 455 private. The sink vanity square that the architect's got in, we're going to choose the same as what we've just put in. Toilet, we want to change this to a water closet. And we're going to choose this one, water closet, flush tank private, 6.1 litre. And then the last one, the bathtub. If at all that you find you haven't loaded in something, you found, say for example, you've forgotten the load in the bathtubs, just click on save and close, and then when you come back again and come back to here after you've loaded in your baths, you can continue. These would have been saved as you would have realized, so you can just come along and just finish off the last one. So bathtub, 1525 by 760. If you notice, 760 by 1525 is what the architect's got, and if you notice the width of it, it's just behind the door, so we need to make sure that we're choosing the right width. And click on save. Right, now we can copy and monitor. So go and copy monitor here, select link, selecting the building, monitor copy, multiple. Just draw a window around that room, like that. And then we need to filter out, check none, and it's only the plumbing fixtures that we want. Click on OK, and then click on the little finish button. As you can see, we've got some items in place now. We'll look at these in detail in a minute, but you can see the symbol to represent that it's a copy monitored item. And then we can just click on finish. What you need to do at this stage is obviously you'll need to reposition these items into the correct orientation. I'm highlighting one and pressing the space bar to rotate, but at some point you're going to need to actually physically move them around. Now with that warning coming up there, and the little orange glow is indicating that the coordination, because it's a copy monitored item, the coordination is saying that something's changed, changed type, changed in this case relative positions of the two fixtures, because when these came in, because these fixtures have got different reference points, they've come in at different positions. So because I've rotated that one round, the warning came up. And if we do the same with the shower, highlight it and press space and then move it, the warning came up. Now don't forget, don't just rely on this 2D view. You're going to need to make sure that these are orientated in the correct height, etc. And you'll do the same for this one. But if we look at this in a 3D, so if we go up to plumbing 3D, you can see that our copy monitored sink's tipped on its side. So you'll need to address that in a 3D view, so we'll look at that in a minute. So there's our copy monitored items. Again, as I say, you'll need to use a section view and make sure that your items are at the correct height. And make sure that they're all in the correct positions. Again, these warnings can be ignored. It's telling us that we're moving items that's a copy monitored item. And again, when I talked to you about multiple views, having these all open, you can see instantly when you've got these correct. You're not having to swap and change them all the time. So as you see, there's that basin that we need to still rotate to fix up there. But you can look at your sinks and your baths and your showers, etc. and get those all in place. Now with this shower, the shower that we dropped in, it's smaller. So what we need to do is we need to duplicate this shower, but change. We need to replace it with a bigger size. So if we click on it and then go over to our shower, what we're going to look at in our properties is to see, do we have a bigger size shower? Well, we do over here, but these aren't. These are rectangular. In this instance, we want a corner one, so as we do away with this corner of the shower, so it gives us more room in the actual bathroom itself. So we can choose to go with something like this, or even bigger. But if you want to do away with the corner, if we go back to a corner, we haven't got the right size. So what we need to do here is we need to edit the type. And then what we're going to do here is we're going to duplicate it. But just before we do that, let's just measure what size is the original architect's. 1064 by 1064. So if we duplicate this now, duplicate, let's rename it 1064. Now we don't need to have the number 2 at the end. That automatically comes up with the next number when you click on duplicate, if it's the same first part of the name. So 1064 by 1064 private. And now what we can do is we can change the dimensions, and we're going to leave the other dimensions as they are and click on OK. Now we've got this, we just need to position it correctly. And then I find sometimes it can be good to get something from a wrong elevation, as we've seen in this instance. Sometimes it can be easy to have a 3D view, as I say, if you haven't already got one. But I want to keep this here first, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate it. I'm going to change it to coordination. And I want a section box on it. Now, if you remember, if you can't see your sections, go through to the annotation categories in the VV and tick the box. And then what we can do, quickly orientate the view to floor plan, and we want level 2 plumbing. And we can then shrink our view down. Again, I like to have things a particular way, like this, so you can see it in real time. And then for the likes of this, click it, pick new, put it on the face, and now we can go back to the 2D and we can move it in combination with that on our section views. Again, have these section views set up beforehand, and you're not having to do this all the time. And we can get the height accordingly. Once you're happy that you've got all your fixtures and fittings in place, because this, if you remember, this is a view template, we'll need to go into here to VV in here, and then we need to go to visibility graphics of the Revit link model, and then here, and then custom, and then model categories, change that to custom, and then we go down to plumbing fixtures, and we can switch off the architectural plumbing fixtures. And now the architect's items have disappeared, and we've just got left with ours here.